Good afternoon everyone, welcome to my kitchen. Today, I'm a little bit disorganised. I don't know how many people have or remember the the Australian Women's Weekly cookbooks. I mean, everyone had them. I think they're about $10 each, $9.95 or something. And I've just got so many of them. But one of my favourite recipes was a Greek spaghetti casserole. And it was, you put a layer of cooked spaghetti, a layer of mince, another layer of cooked spaghetti, and then a nice thick white sauce on top, and baked it. And it was absolutely yummy, and it was one of our all-time favourites that we used to cook all the time. And I haven't cooked it for a while, but what I've actually found is it's this on cookie dough. It's year's pastitsio or pastitsio, something. I can't pronounce it. I should Google pronunciation. Anyway, sounds very similar. It's got a few different ingredients, but I thought I'd give that one a go. So the first thing we've got to do is we have to cook our pasta. Now, the recipe doesn't include cooking the pasta. It just says to cook the pasta as per the packet instructions. So I'm going to do that first. So we've already got that recipe found, but I'm going to go back to, if I go into my recently cooked, it'll show me what I've cooked, the most recent recipes. If I scroll down, we've got boiled pasta. Now, I don't know which one it is. I think this is it. Hang on, let's go and see what this one is. Oops. No, that's not what I want to do. No, doesn't matter. This is the one I was going to do. Okay. Recently cooked. It is this one. Alrighty. Now it says to do 320 grams of pasta. I'm doing 200 grams because that's what it says in the recipe that I'm making. So we're going to start cooking. So if you haven't cooked pasta in the Thermomix, give it a go. It's actually really good because you don't have to. It doesn't require quite the amount of looking after as boiling it on the stove does. So it says 1,200 grams of water. So I will have to get some more. And I'm going to have to cut little bits out of this video all the way through because, as I said, I'm semi-organised. The rest of my kitchen is an absolute disaster area because I've been cooking all day. Okay, that'll do. Right. Next, then we're going to put the simmering basket on top, and we're going to bring it to the boil. So 10 minutes, 100 degrees, speed 1. And I'll be back, and then we'll add the pasta. So now we go next, and then we add everything through the hole in the mixing bowl. We want 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I knew where my teaspoon measure was. That would be awesome. Oh, here it is. Um, 320 grams of pasta. So I've got 200 grams because that's what our recipe calls for. And you just add it in, even if it's spaghetti, you just add it in through the top and it'll fall down. And then without the measuring cup, we're going to set it for the time that it says on the packet, which is, it cooks for 12 minutes. So we set our time to 12 minutes. And it's 100 degrees, speed 1 in reverse. And now I can keep going with the rest of what I'm doing. And I'll be back when we're time to, once this is cooked, I'll strain it and I'll get it in the bowl, and then we'll come back to our recipe. Rightio, so we're back to, we've got the pasta draining through the Veroma dish. And so now we're going to start the recipe. So it says to put a large bowl. So this is still a bit hot on the mixing bowl, and we're going to weigh in 100 grams of crumbled feta, which is this feta that I have got a video of making some feta, and it's a marinated feta. Now I like this one because it keeps better in the oil. That says 97. So let's put a little bit extra in just for luck. Alright. And this is a good dry, crumbly cheese that crumbles up really well. I'll just show you. Oops. You need to be able to see what I'm doing, don't you? Alright. And so we're going to crumble this into the dish. Then we're going to set this aside. And I've put a little bit extra in for me to taste. Alright. Set the bowl aside. And now I need 100 grams of Parmesan. I haven't got 100 grams of Parmesan. I don't know how much it is, but it's less than 100 grams. And so I've got some sharp, bitey Bega cheese, cheddar cheese. So I'm going to put this aside and wash my hands, and I'll be back. Right. I don't know if I need a separate bowl to tip the feta in, the Parmesan into. So let's read on. So into a separate bowl. So I'll get a separate bowl. Okay, we're gonna tip it in here, but the bowl's still a little bit hot. You can tell by the red lights. So I'll do this, and then I've got, to make up for not having enough Parmesan, I've got some of this Bega, strong and bitey. Righto. A little bit for me. Rightio. So this theoretically should be 100 grams. Oh, 150. 10 seconds on speed 7. Let's stop that because you could hear it wasn't rattling around anymore, and we don't want to melt it. So, and it's got some softer cheese in there. It's not all that really super hard parmesan. Righto. No one in our family objects to a little extra cheese. Okay, transfer into a bowl and set aside. Now it says prepare pasta according to the packet instructions, less 2 minutes. So I've actually cooked it the full time, it doesn't matter. Drain and transfer into the bowl with the feta. Rightio, so I'll do that. Then we're going to add 2 egg whites and mix to combine, so I'll grab that. Okay. So this is the bowl with our feta. Now we've got the pasta in there, and we want egg whites. So we've got 2 egg whites. So and we're going to use the yolks later on. Okay. Oopsie. No. Beautiful. We'll mix. Does it say? 2 egg whites lightly beaten. So I probably need it in a bigger bowl. I just want to just loosen up those strands. Rightio. I hope I'm doing this right. Okay, so now we're going to transfer it into a baking tray. It says to lay the noodles out. Horizontally across the base of the pan. So that sounds like something I'm going to do off camera while we work on to the next step. Righto. Okay, now let's put this down here. You want 2 onions, approximately 300 grams cut into halves. Try and remember what I'd just done with the bowl, but it's good we just had cheese in it. Go. 2 cloves of garlic, got a few more than 2, but they're just tiny. This bulb of garlic had this little tiny, it had a clump or a big clump of little tiny itty bitty cloves of garlic in it. Right. $30 grams of extra virgin olive oil. Okay. Lid on 3 seconds. Now we want the simmering basket on. Four minutes, 100 degrees, speed 1. Right, I will be back when this is done. Okay, 400 gram can of tomatoes. Now I don't know if they wanted whole tomatoes, but I've got chopped. $40 grams of tomato paste. Two teaspoons of stock paste. So this is veggie stock paste that I make myself in the Thermomix. I have got a video on this, and if I remember, I will share it down below. $100 grams of red wine. sugar. And the sugar is just to cut the acidity on those canned tomatoes we've just used. Half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, which is optional. So I am going to put it in because this is the first time I've made this recipe. A teaspoon of sea salt. A quarter of a teaspoon of ground black pepper. Okay, we've got water. Okay, now we're going to put that down there, the simmering basket in, and then weigh in the mince. Now it says 900 grams. I'm pretty sure this will be a kilo because it was 2 bags, and I freeze my mince in half kilo bags. So I've got a vacuum sealer, and I seal them up into little logs, and I find that it defrosts really easily like that. And most recipes use a kilo of mince. Okay, so now we're going to add, I have to wash my hands. Okay, a bay leaf, a cinnamon quill, into it. And a clove, a whole clove. Now we're going to close the lid. Measuring cup. Um, 15 minutes at 100 degrees on speed 2. I will be back when that is finished cooking, and I'll take the opportunity to clean up some of my mess. Rightio, we're up to the next stage, and we're going to stir the mince. So because this is way over there, I'm actually going to lift it up and bring it over here so I can stir it. So I'm going to pull that, and that off. So I'm going to give that a stir, and then we're going to cook it. I think it's for another 15 minutes. I have read this recipe. Through a few times, but I can't quite remember. Rightio. Beautiful. Now we'll pop the spices back in there. Oops, I've lost the clove. Oh, it's gone. Now there it is. And then we're going to give it another 15 minutes. Rightio. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to move this a little bit closer. Okay, so now we're going to pull the basket out. So let's see the best way to do this. So we're going to discard the cinnamon quill and the bay leaf. It doesn't mention the clove, but yeah, it'll just have to be a warning to those at tea tonight. Oops, to watch out for the bay leaf. Rightio. Now, and we're going to tip this into the bowl with the sauce. See if I can burn myself. Whoops. Okay, not too much of a mess. Oh, that's hot. And mix. So it's a bit clumpy, but we'll just give it a stir, and that breaks up really easily because there's I think it's the chunky bolognese that's cooked in the basket as well. Right. Carefully pour your sauce mixture over this pasta. I like the recipes that where they cook the mince in the basket, because it doesn't tend to get minced quite as fine. And I don't mind taking these few extra minutes to break the mince up. Right, beautiful. Okay, there's a couple more chunks I'll break up, but in the meantime, we shall continue, because I am going to have a little bit of a dig around and see if I can see that clove. Okay, so it says to clean and dry the mixing bowl. So I'll be back. Rightio. A few things that I should say. When I dragged my Thermomix across the bench, it's sitting on a glider board. You don't drag the feet of your Thermomix across the bench because they're actually your scales. And you don't, and that could damage the scales. And the other thing is when you wash your bowl, before you put it back together, make sure this area is totally dry. You don't want any water on there. Rightio. Clean and dry the mixing bowl. Preheat the oven to 180 degrees, which is happening. Okay, and now we're going to make the white sauce. Oh, and I haven't got the plain flour. I'll have to get that. Oops. Right. Now I'll grab the flour. Okay, 150 grams of plain flour. Rightio. This will make a nice thick sauce, and we want a litre of water or 1,000 grams of milk. It's milk. Did I say water? I think I said water. Okay. Lid on. 7 minutes at 90 degrees on speed 4. Okay, we'll be back. Okay. So now we're going to add a few more ingredients. So we want 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. And I couldn't find the clove. I had it on top right up to the very end, and then I stirred it in. 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. A 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper. I do have white pepper, but it's only for the white sauce. We always used to use white pepper in white sauces, but we put cinnamon and nutmeg in there, so. Then 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. Come on. Two egg yolks. So these are the 2 egg yolks that we got out of the egg whites that we whisked through the thing. 60 grams of this cheese. Whoops. Now we did have a bit extra in the 3 minutes, 37 degrees, speed 4. We did do a bit extra cheese at the very beginning, so I tipped a bit extra in there, but it doesn't matter. Right, I'll be back. Okay. Now we're going to carefully pour the white sauce over this and smooth the top. And this will be a nice thick layer. This was very much what the sauce was like in our Greek spaghetti casserole. So I'm pretty sure that this is a Greek dish. I mean, I'm absolutely positive, but I don't want to make bold statements when I could be wrong. Righto? And now mix the remaining parmesan with 2 tablespoons of breadcrumbs. This here is the rectangular fire era cast iron cookware from the mix shop. I really love this stuff. Then bake for 40 minutes at 180 degrees until lightly brown. So now everything in here now is cooked. All we're going to do now is we're going to melt this cheese, brown the breadcrumbs and that, and just warm everything up together. So at this stage, this can go in the fridge until we're ready to bake it. And I've got probably another half an hour before I want it to go in the oven. So that is exactly what I'm going to do with it. Alright, beautiful. Then we're allowed to rest for 10 minutes once it comes out of the oven. So when it comes out of the oven, I'll give it its 10-minute resting time, and then I'll come back and we'll taste it together, and I cannot wait. It smells delicious. I had a little taste of the mince and the sauce when I was breaking up those last few clumps. It is really delicious. Those spices and that are in there are just perfect. So rightio, I will be back when we're ready to give it a taste. I know, I love it when recipes turn out and they look exactly like what you imagined. I have had a little poke in the corner just to make sure the pasta is cooked, and this is absolutely delicious. So it's got a really nice creamy sauce. The mince is really tender. That's really hot. If I could say anything, I wouldn't put quite so much cinnamon. I might miss it out in the white sauce, but it is absolutely delicious. I would recommend trying this one. It's very much like the Greek spaghetti casserole that was in the the Australian Woman's Weekly cookbook. I can't remember which one it was, but it is absolutely delicious. Rightio, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, could you please give it a thumbs up, pop over to my channel and subscribe, and I really hope I'll see you next time.